Come here. Good girl. Alright guys, welcome back. Reese here, Reese's Shed. And today we've got something different for you guys. The Ute's still sitting in the shed, and we do have a couple of parts that we're waiting on. Namely the fuel hose for the carby. Besides that, that car's ready to go now. And the only other work really to do on it is rust repair, and I don't want to do any rust repair today. So we're going to switch it up. We're going to jump on the Torana here, and we're going to do a wheel it run, and we're just going to see what we can come up with. I bought this car basically when my son was born, about a year and a half ago. Haven't done anything with it except for pick it up from the guy's house and drop it off here. So I don't know any history on it except for he drove it and it ran and drove and everything like that, and he wanted to restore it, so he pulled all apart and sanded it down and then gave up. So I picked it up for a steal, brought it back here. I sat here ever since in the rain and whatever. Had a car cover on it for a while, but that didn't last. So it's going to be a bit of a full resto, but in a rush. So I'll give you a look at it and then we'll get stuck in. So this is a car. I do have guards and doors and nose cone and all that stuff for it. Got a boot lid. So yeah, this is it. This is what we've got to start with. Let's see if we can get it to move. The last time I was out here, I did try and roll it and it was kind of stuck. So we'll try and move it today, get it over there so we can work on it a bit easier. And yeah, let's get stuck in. Gonna have to jack up the back end and see if these wheels turn. Alright, so we got it to move, which is a good start. Looks like it was just buried in the ground. Must be a bit softer over there than I thought. Once I got it up on the bricks, I got it rocking and it started to move. Drove forward, no problem. So what we'll do now is we'll get the other Torana back to back. We'll get these other cars moved around and we'll get this one over there. Now we'll get some work done. I want to see if we can get this thing to run today. Let's see. Alright, the LX is out the way. Now we're going to get the UC out of this part here. So we'll do a bit of a shuffle around. We'll get one of these cars back in there, and the UC will be out here. This one over here, guys, this LX, that will be coming up at some point, so don't think that's just going to sit there and rot. That's going to get built. This one here is actually, believe it or not, probably closer to ready because it's got a drive line and everything in it, and pretty sure everything is there for it, even though I'm not certain. But I can make that one go easier. That one needs rust repairs, all sorts of stuff. This one just needs to be put back together. So we will be building them both, but for now we're going to focus on the UC. I'm going to grab a drink and then I'm going to move these. I need another pair of hands, I think. Alright, let's have a look at it. Okay, I need the cricket bat. Oh, while I'm here too, you can see there's a bit of concern on the last video about the fuel lines. So I've turned the supply into the 6-6 and the return into the -8. So if anyone was wondering what I've done, that's what I've done, and I've corrected it down at the pump end as well, so we'll see how that goes. But I'm not worried. Let's get on this Torana. Best bonnet prop I have. Alright, so let's have a look what we've got here. So I'm immediately noticing we don't have anything to do with the heater. That's gone, and then right down in there we've got some sort of a mouse house or something on top of the heater core. So that's not great, but we're not worried about that today. We're going to get this, looks like a 202. We're going to get the 202 running. Well, with any luck we're going to get it running. I did actually pinch a lead when I was doing the first start on the HQ, so we'll chuck that back on there, and I think we'll just turn it over by hand first and see if it's actually going to turn. Wow, we've got some corrosion going on over here. Whoa, 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 whoa. Alright. Yeah, we'll turn this thing over by hand first of all. See what we're up against. Just take this bonnet off. Okay, it's moving back and forth, which is a good start. Put that down there so I can trip over it later. Alright, we're turning over. Okay, well that's a good start. Now, I don't know about you guys, but I don't think these batteries last very long. And this one appears to have been in there for a long time, so we don't have much luck. Well, I don't think we're going to have much luck with that one, but we will try. So we'll rig up a lead of some description, get this thing connected up. Looks like we've got power there, so we need a ground. I can't see it, so oh yeah, it looks like it's been taken off of here. So what we'll do is we'll get a ground, put that on there, and we'll see if this thing even has power in the battery. See if we can start it turn over by, you know, by the key or whatever. I'll check out this carby first. Let's have a look in there. So this appears to be a 350 Holy. Hopefully this air filter hasn't been off. Oh yeah, that hasn't been off forever. Looks good. Clean enough inside there, should run. So I'm happy with that. We'll put this back on just for now to stop anything getting in it. And we're going to rig up a ground lead. Looks like it's pretty clean inside there. I'm not mad at that. Where's the dipstick? Don't know much about these 6 cylinders. Can't be far away. It's going to be right in my face, I can just tell. There it is. Alright. Right there. Oh yeah, that looks good. Pretty clean. No point in smelling it because I don't have a sense of smell. Too many head injuries. Alright, now, before we turn this thing over, I want to make sure I don't suck up any dirty fuel. So I'm going to take off the fuel line off the mechanical pump here and just make sure that we're not going to suck anything gross out of the fuel tank. Alright, so should be able to pull that off of there without too much fuss. A pair of pliers or something. Might just cut it off. That's been dry for a while, I'd say. Not too worried about that. I just don't want to suck anything out of the tank. Alright, chuck this lead on. See if we've got some power. You know what? Not even going to bother. Take this battery out, put a new battery in. Pretty good under there, not rusty. It's a first. If this engine runs, we'll change all of these out. We'll put new terminals and everything on, but we'll just try it with this stuff first and then we'll see. Okay, get that on there nice and tight. Okay, so I had a couple of sparks there when I put the battery lead on, which means something in there's turned on, so It's not necessarily a bad thing. Bit of a shock, but who knows will this stuff pulled apart. Let's see if we can get this thing to crank over with the key, and if we can't, we'll start working our way back. Well, I found something that we might have a problem with, possibly. Let me just disconnect this here. Now, this here is an immobilizer light. And when I press this, well, it was flashing, and then I pressed this, and then that stayed on. So, I don't know if that's on or off. But what we'll do now is we'll check for spark at the coil, and that'll tell us basically, because, oh, there we go, check that out. Now watch this. Who would have thought? And it cranks. Got no idea what's going on in here because there's no dash or anything, so the only thing we can do is get under the bonnet now and just check for spark or power to the coil, and then we know that this is all working, and then we can start trying to get this thing to fire up. Alright guys, 12 volts. 12 volts at the coil. Oop, that just fell off there. Yep, definitely got 12 volts there. So, well, in theory, because this is an electronic ignition, we should have spark. So what we'll do is we'll pull a plug lead and we'll test for spark, cross our fingers, and we'll go from there. Who would have thought that the immobilizer would have worked after all this time? And the battery, the key remote thing. Whatever battery's in there, I'm buying one. Alright, take this guard off of here before I damage it. Alright, just going to set you guys up here for a minute, and I need you guys to let me know if we've got spark here. What I do with these is I ground the body of the spark plug to the ground, like engine or whatever, because you don't want to get a boot from these. So we should see spark jump from this part here across to the electrode, which is surrounded by that white ceramic. Should be pretty obvious, shouldn't be a small spark, it should be quite big being it's electronic ignition, if it's got spark. So we'll crank it over now, we'll have a look, and then we'll come back and I'll have a look at the footage and we'll see. Okay, I moved that spark plug just so I could have a better look for myself, and we do have spark. So really all you need now is compression and fuel. What I'll do is I'll take out these spark plugs and I'll just do a quick compression test with my finger in the hole, just to see if we've got anything there, and we'll chuck some fuel down the carby. Maybe we'll just chuck some fuel down the carby first, see if it starts. Oh my god. What's the chances of that? No dramas or anything, just started straight up. Oh my god. Well, sometimes it's better to be lucky than good, I guess. Anticlimactic, I know, but it runs, and it seems to run really good, like really good. So now let's check the brakes and go for a drive. Maybe we should make sure it's got gears and stuff first. What we'll do is we'll hook up some sort of a fuel system to this so it can run for more than 5 seconds. We'll get it so it can idle. Probably need to go down the shop tomorrow and get a water pump because this thing's stuffed. And yeah, I think we'll try and take it for a drive. So I'll do everything I can here tonight. Get it as close as can be, chuck a seat in it or something. And yeah, see if we can get it out for a quick drive up and down the road. Probably have to wait until tomorrow, but no lights and whatnot, and it's getting dark. But yeah, how's that? Everything that I touched just worked today. That is a first. That has never happened before. So yeah, I'm happy about that. I was looking forward to working on it, but hey, if you don't have to, you don't have to. Anyway, let's keep going. It's definitely low on oil, but what's in there does look good. Nice and clean and pink. So we'll pick up some Dextron 3 tomorrow as well, because I'm not going to even try and get this thing to get a gear until I know that there's more than enough oil in there. Don't want to damage it trying to get it to run. Well, it's lucky that we disconnected that fuel pump there, because it's still working. I just drained about half a litre of fuel out of my fuel cell here, and the engine runs. So all in all, I'm really happy about it. We aren't going to connect up this fuel system until we know that the tank's clean, so I'll have to check that another day. I'm going to put the air filter back on now to make sure nothing goes down there. And tomorrow I'll drop down and get a water pump and transmission oil. We'll get that all topped off, and then we're going to go for a drive. I was just checking the brakes in there, and the brakes work. Which is everything that usually is a problem is surprising me, and everything seems to work. So check this out. Hard pedal, throttle pedal works, everything works. And don't let this scare you guys. I will be putting all this back in. I think you've all probably seen the UC dash sitting up inside the shed there. So now that I know that this starts and runs and everything, and we're not going to have too many dramas there, I can start piecing the interior back together. I'm going to get this paintwork all sorted out, and we're going to have a really cool daily. So I'm excited. Who would have thought? You got to have a win sometimes. Anywho, this is probably a good time to bring up the second channel. So I've just recently started a second channel, and my thought process behind that is that not everybody wants to watch hour-long videos every week. So I'm going to do update videos on the second channel, and I'm going to do smaller jobs like this Torana, you know, Will It Runs and whatnot, and I'll leave the big projects like the Ute for the first channel. That way you guys can pick and choose, or if you want to watch them all, that's great. I know not everybody has an hour to spare every Monday, but hopefully this suits everybody. The things I'm not focusing all my energy on obviously will be on the second channel, and the big project will be on the first. So the good news is that everybody out there, you'll be getting two videos a week now instead of one. So I'm going to be working my butt off. But I don't want to just focus on one build, and I don't want to do two builds and not document them both. So this is the solution, and I hope you're happy with that. And this is just the start. So this video on the main channel will be the only one for the Torana for the near future. So if you want to see the Torana, second channel. If you want to see the HQ, main channel. And then what we'll do as well, as we're getting along with this one, we might do some switching around between other jobs and stuff. But yeah, that's the plan. I'm going to do that. Hope you guys like it. End of the day, it'll just be more content. So don't see how you can't like that. But yeah, let's get a list together for this Torana for tomorrow. We'll go down the shops, we'll get everything we need, and we'll come back and we'll get this thing together and go for a drive. Looks like some pretty old coolant. Hopefully there's nothing underneath there. We'll pop that out and we'll have a look. Oh no. What is that? Oh, maybe I spoke too soon saying how perfect it was and how lucky I was that nothing went wrong. I'm assuming that's through everything. We better take this thermostat housing off. Oh, maybe before we do that we'll run some water through it or something. Some boiling hot water with the bottom radiator hose off, and we might be okay. Well, that's already off. Alright, I'll go inside and boil the kettle. Okay, so we're all set up now. So first things first, I'm going to pour boiling hot water down the thermostat housing, and that should go into the block and everything like that, through the water pump, whatever. And then I'm going to pour some boiling hot water through the radiator. I just want to get some of this stuff moved around, because I don't want that blockage to be everywhere. I don't know how bad it is, but it could be through the entire thing, and that would be terrible. But let's just try this, see what happens, and then we'll make our mind up after that. Oh, that's a good sign. Alright, so we're not blocked because water's coming out of the water pumps now, out of the water pump outlet. So that's good. Let's chuck some down here, see what goes on with the radiator. The radiator is blocked. We might have to get this bottom hose off. Oh, that's good. Alright, now we've got some light because it's gone dark. We're going to just carry on. We're going to start pulling this water pump off now because I want to get these parts back on tomorrow and get this thing going for a drive. So, 1/2-inch spanner to get those bolts off. We should be good to go. And if you're wondering, that's that steady light that I mentioned ages ago. Magnet onto the side of the shed. And we've got more than enough light out here. Those things are awesome, so buy one, guys. Alright, let's get this water pump off. Alright, we got the water pump off. It's rough as. Got the hoses all off. Fan and everything's off. And we're actually not looking too bad in there. I think that'll clean up. And then in the block, we've got all kinds of stuff. So that's definitely going to need a flush. I will do that tomorrow. And yeah, hopefully we can do something with that cooling system, but who knows? All we can do is try. So I'll buy some bits, put it back together, and wish me luck because I'm going to need it. Anyway, good result today. Torana started and ran pretty much straight away without too much drama. So I'm happy. Got to go inside now, have some dinner, go to bed, and we'll tackle this tomorrow in the morning. See you then. So I've done a fair bit of scouting around, and I was able to pick up top and bottom radiator hose, and a water pump, and some hose clamps. I wasn't able to get a thermostat housing. There is various ends teeth, but I do have a plan for that. We're going to take care of a bit later on. So for now, we've got to match up this water pump, make sure it's right, because apparently there's 2 variations, and we'll just make sure that these hoses are the right ones. That's the old bottom hose, and that's the new one. So that's right. So the part number we need for them, CH943 in the McKay hoses. So happy with that. And top hose. It's not exact, it's a bit short, but it's the right shape. CH935. Same again, McKay. So we'll try and get those on. Let's match up this water pump. So I pulled this off last night. As you can see, it's had way better days. It's, believe it or not, the telltale didn't have any signs of leaking water. It was just corroded away. So I don't know what coolant they're running, whether they may not have had any coolant in there, but whatever it was didn't work. So let's get this one out of the packet. Now I was led to believe that there's a short snout and a long snout and different pulley sizes, and being that this is a UC Torana, this is the long, and judging by that, looks right to me. Same length there, same length there. And there. So that's the one. What part number was that? GMB water pump, and it's GWHD03A. So that's the one we need in the future if we ever need another one. Alright, let's try getting this on there. This stuff again, you use it 1,000 times, guys. Now, we're putting some petroleum jelly on this gasket because of the state of that cooling system. I'm going to want to be pulling this water pump back off again after I've run it for, I don't know, a sufficient period of time. I'll be pulling this water pump back off and trying to flush it back through again. So I don't want to ruin my gasket. I don't want it all get stuck together, so same as the carby, chuck some Vaseline on there, or petroleum jelly, whatever you want to call it, and your gasket won't stick, but it will still seal. So I use that stuff on every gasket basically that I ever fit, except for head gaskets. I fit on O-rings, whatever. It's just a bit of peace of mind that you can get it back apart later on without having to do 10 million hours of cleanup and having to source a new gasket. Alright, so gasket on the water pump, and then water pump on there. So this water pump is touching something inside the block, so we're going to rip it back off quickly and have a look. There's also something I noticed here. There's no clearance between this pipe and the block here for some reason. So I might have to open that up a little bit and give it some clearance. I think it's on there okay for now, but if it leaks it's definitely going to need to be adjusted. So I'm going to get this back off now, see if there's any witness marks where it's been touching, and then sort it out. Okay, so I think I've figured out why we had a bit of contact over here. I think it's just corrosion. Yeah, look at that. So we'll scrape that off, get that out of the way. Then we won't have any more contact where the hose needs to go. And then what I've noticed as well is that noise was corrosion built up on the edge here. So we'll just scrape that off, and then we should be good. I realised why I don't miss working on cars. My back. I'm leaning down like this all day. I never get that feeling at work because it's just like I'm working on stuff like this. Hey, I got my water pump on.
Oh, that's good. We'll have to go soon.
Yeah, I'm ready whenever you are. I'll just wash my hands.
Well, I need to have a shower.
Alright, I'll come in. quickly tighten these and then I'll come straight in and you can have a shower. Alright, so I got to spend a couple more minutes out here tonight, and the water pump's on, the belt and everything's back on, fans on, bottom radiator hose is on, clamps are all tight, got some water in here, and top radiator hose is on. So tomorrow we're going to figure out this thermostat housing, we're going to get that sorted out, and then we'll have a complete cooling system again. So what we'll do once we've done that is we'll get it running, we'll get it hot, and check our transmission level oil, transmission oil level, and yeah, we'll probably see if it moves under its own steam then. I'm gonna go inside now. Sorry about the light, guys. How about that? Yeah, so I'm gonna go inside now. I've done what I hope to do tonight. Can't really do anything else, and I'll see you tomorrow. We'll get this thermostat housing sorted out. This has all happened because for some reason nobody stocks a 202 thermostat housing anymore. You can get V8 ones and things for other engines and stuff, but you can't actually get one for red or black, or red, black, blue 202. The only one I could find was like $90 and it was chrome and it looked like shit, and I didn't want to put that on here, so stick around and tomorrow I'll show you the plan of making this all work. See you then. Alright, so for anybody that was wondering what the solution was to the thermostat housing issue, here it is. So this is a universal small block Chev thermostat housing. It's on an O-ring, so it can be turned in any direction you like. And it's just a temporary fix just so we can drive this thing, because as you can see, this is higher than the top of the radiator, which we don't want. But for now, it gets us where we need to go so we can take this thing for a drive. So sometimes, guys, it's not perfection that we're working with, we just got to make it work. So I found a solution, I used it, now let's go for a drive. Well, that wasn't very eventful. I'll just have a couple of minutes to have a look at this thing and then I'll give you a rundown on what just happened. Alright, so thought I was going to go for a drive, got everything ready, put transmission oil in it, had all the gears and everything, reverse drive, whatever. So I thought I'll just drive out the driveway, up the road, and then turn around and come back. But I got to about there, as you saw, and completely ran out of brakes. No brakes at all, so I had to put it into park, so we'd come to a stop. Well, actually, I put it in neutral, rolled to a stop, and then the brake pedal was going all the way to the floor. So I've had a quick look around and I can't see anywhere that's leaking fluid. but I'm not going to be able to drive it because there's no brakes and I don't want to chance it. So this is as far as we're going to take it today. So I hope you liked it. If you want to see more of the Torana, go to the second channel and subscribe over there. Like, comment if you haven't already. And guys, remember, these projects aren't going to finish themselves. See you next time.